Kelly Clarkson isn't just making headlines for her powerhouse vocals or her Las Vegas residency. She's making waves by calling out outdated, toxic industry pressure in the boldest way yet. On November 8th, 2025, during her studio sessions residency at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Clarkson paused mid-show, not because of a technical glitch or a stage mishap, but because a teleprompter prompt reading "fix boobs" caught her eye and sparked a long-buried memory. She asked the audience, "Are my boobs coming out? Shh." And in that moment, she leaned into a story from her past. A former manager once told her she should get a boob job. She said it plain and unfiltered. "I had some dick manager one time tell me to get a boob job." Then, channeling the kind of fiery self-respect her fans love her for, she responded, "Why don't you get a dick job? I'm fine with my itty-bitty titties. Get out of here." She labeled the exec gross and then challenged a broader culture asking, "Who says that shit? People say that shit all the time in the industry. This is not normal. You've normalized crazy." Now, let's rewind and build the full picture. Clarkson, a 3-time Grammy winner, winner of the first season of American Idol, host of her daytime talk show, a mom of 2, daughter River and son Remington, and now headlining a Las Vegas residency, has been in the spotlight for more than 22 years. In August 2025, she faced personal tragedy with the death of her ex-husband and former manager Brandon Blackstock following a private battle with melanoma. That context matters. This moment on stage wasn't just a quip, it came after a period of personal reflection, career evolution, and public scrutiny. Back in the early days of her career, like many artists, Clarkson was navigating a male-dominated industry where image, body, and conformity often take precedence over authenticity. The fact that a manager once suggested she fix her body speaks volumes about those pressures. Pressure she's now openly rejecting. When she announced on stage that she was done with such demands, asking the audience to do you, but don't make me do you, she was signaling that the power to define one's self-image doesn't rest with managers or executives, but with the individual. She affirmed, "I like my itty-bitty titties. They have served me well." Her message didn't stop there. Clarkson pointed her commentary at the culture at large, especially celebrity culture that idolizes transformation, plastic surgeries, age-defying looks, capturing her moment of raw candor with this: "Everybody out here looking like they're in the Capitol in the Hunger Games. It's like windy everywhere." She challenged the notion that aging is something to fight, instead saying, "Calm down, just get old. Be glad not everybody gets to get old." You know what I'm saying? In a world that treats aging as a liability, Clarkson reframed it as a privilege. So let's explore how this moment fits into her career arc. In July 2025, Clarkson launched the Vegas residency. She had previously postponed some shows in order to navigate her grief and regain her footing after Blackstock's passing. During this return to live performance in Las Vegas, she brought humor, vulnerability, connection with her audience, even orchestrating an impromptu engagement for a couple in the crowd, cheering "Say yes, bitch" from stage, and lightheartedly telling them not to worry about her next somber song. That kind of authenticity is exactly what her fans appreciate and have gravitated toward for years. So when she paused her performance to address the "fix boobs" prompt, it may have seemed spontaneous, but in many ways it was emblematic of her larger journey. Here's a woman who has navigated the highs of pop stardom, the pressures of image and media, motherhood, divorce, grief, reinvention, and now she's using her platform to expose industry standards that treat artists like molds to be filled rather than voices to be heard. The manager's suggestion wasn't a one-off slip. It's a symptom of an industry pattern. Clarkson shining a spotlight on it is a big deal. Public reaction has been swift and strong. Many fans and media outlets praised her for speaking out, applauding her for refusing to be shaped to someone else's idea of perfect, and acknowledging the rare space she occupies by doing so on stage live in front of an audience. Some commentators noted how rare it is for female artists to publicly rail against image-based demands, like breast augmentation or other cosmetic transformations, especially when those demands often come quietly behind closed doors. Here, Clarkson did it with sharp wit but serious intent. Moreover, this story resonates far beyond celebrities. Her words apply to many people who feel pressured to change their bodies, to conform to a standard or expectation that isn't theirs. When she said, "I'm fine with my itty-bitty titties," it's not simply about breast size, it's a metaphor for embracing what you are rather than what you're told to be. It's about rejecting the notion that success, attractiveness, validation come only with transformation. And by telling the manager, "Why don't you get a dick job?" she pointed out the absurdity of the demand and flipped the power dynamic. In addition, the timing gives this moment extra weight. At 43 years old, Clarkson is in a place of professional and personal strength. She's not a fledgling star trying to fit into industry molds. She's an established figure who has seen the pressures up close. That she chose this moment in her Las Vegas residency, where fans expect spectacle, polish, glamour, to issue such a candid critique shows guts and authenticity. The context of her residency, returning after a personal loss, her willingness to show up and speak frankly, all underscore the sincerity of her message. Let's also reflect on the broader industry implications. The entertainment world has long been criticized for unrealistic beauty standards, for pressuring women and increasingly men to undergo cosmetic procedures to fit a certain aesthetic. The idea that a manager might suggest a breast augmentation to advance someone's career is not new. What is new is someone of Clarkson's stature saying publicly and directly that it's unacceptable. By doing so, she challenges the norm and invites discussion about power, body autonomy, and the value of authenticity over image. In her onstage remarks, she made it clear she supports anyone who chooses plastic surgery for themselves. Do you, but draws a firm line when someone tries to impose that choice. Don't make me do you. That distinction matters. Agency versus coercion. It's not about rejecting all body modification. It's about rejecting the notion that someone else gets to decide what you should be. And let's not overlook the emotional underpinning. Clarkson's resilience shines here, working through personal grief, continuing her career, leaning into honesty rather than retreating. By sharing this story, she exposes a part of her past that many might prefer to keep hidden. She uses vulnerability as strength. And that is compelling for fans, for aspiring artists, for anyone who's ever felt told they needed to change to be acceptable. So, what does this all mean for going forward? It means Clarkson's moment isn't just headline fodder. It may signal a shift in how artists talk about body image and industry pressures. It means the door is open for more frank conversations, for artists to reclaim narratives about their bodies, their choices, their voices. It means fans might demand more authenticity, less enforced conformity. And for the industry, it's a message that the old ways of pushing image over identity might not go unchallenged any longer. So, in conclusion, Kelly Clarkson, on stage in Las Vegas in November 2025, confronted a former manager's suggestion that she get a boob job by delivering a sharp, unforgettable retort. She positioned her body, her age, her experience as assets, not liabilities. She called out the broader culture of cosmetic conformity in entertainment, encouraged individuality, and reminded us all that authenticity still matters, even in an industry built on image. Her journey from starlet to host to mother to survivor to outspoken advocate makes this moment more than just celebrity gossip. It's a bold statement about self-worth and agency. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.